Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's lecture. Entitled Against the Tempest Tossed. The readings for this week talked about the post-Cold War era and more recent or more contemporary kinds of issues. In terms of the post-Cold War immigration, the reading talked about how after the collapse of communism in the 1990s, it was made clear that communism had not done away with anti-Semitism. Jews began to flee anti-Semitism arising in the former Soviet Union in the 1990s. They flee by the millions, or 500,000 of them flee to Israel and the United States. In the 1990s, high unemployment in Ireland led to seeking better opportunities for Irish immigrants in the US. Irish immigrants would arrive legally with a student, work, or tourist visa and would overstay after it expired, making them undocumented in the country. Undocumented Irish workers totaled as many as 120,000. The 1965 immigration legislation withdrew restrictions for Chinese immigrants, resulted in an increase in their population. The number of Chinese students attending college in the US increased in the 1980s, while low-wage uneducated women workers worked in the garment industry in New York and men in restaurants. We also discussed in the reading the Vietnam War and the refugees from Vietnam and other Southeast Asian countries that came as a result. The first wave came from the educated classes and many knew English. They arrive as family units, initially were placed in processing camps, and many settled in the Orange County area of California. The second wave consisted of refugees escaping political and economic conditions in Vietnam. Many boarded crowded boats, as you see in this image, in search of refuge in other countries. They were often attacked while out at sea by pirates, and they eventually would arrive to squalid refugee camps in Thailand, eventually settling in other countries, including the United States. The reading talked about the Vietnamese American population, particularly in California, where on the one hand, you had the orderly departure program that started in 1982, which encourages family reunification and allows for 20,000 Vietnamese to come annually to the United States. In the reading, we saw how in places like downtown San Jose, where many Vietnamese Americans settled and lived, they have been instrumental in revitalizing those areas with their small businesses. And you see here the sign to welcome to Little Saigon, as this particular area has become known. By 2000, the population of Vietnamese Americans totaled 1,388,000. The reading also talked about Afghan refugees and the war after 9/11. Refugees from Afghanistan have been coming to the US fleeing conditions of war even before the post 9/11 war that the US was directly involved with. Many settled in Fremont, California, creating their own little Kabul area. Post 9/11, there was an increase in discrimination against Afghans that the reading talked about. And one of the options they chose to try to protect themselves from this abuse was pretending to be part of other ethnic communities. Finally, the reading talked about immigration from Mexico that continues to exist, and how this increase in undocumented immigration has arisen as a result of the NAFTA. And the reading talked about the impacts of that in Mexico. Demands for cheap labor in the US also encouraged immigration. The reading also talked about how they do pay Social Security taxes, but are unable to collect the benefits. So they end up subsidizing Social Security for large elderly white populations. And the reading also talked about Mexican American youth who arrive as young children and are often unable to attend college, even if they meet qualifications. This was attempted to be addressed by the DACA program, which gave these young people some time period to be able to attend college and be able to get temporary status. But as we've seen in the last few years, this continues to be a contended issue, and there hasn't been a permanent solution to addressing this particular group of undocumented immigrants. So this ends our lecture for this week. I look forward to seeing your comments and the discussion posts. Have a good week.